Yes, boys, I'm going to tell you the exact diet that I eat that took me from looking like I was about to die to looking a little bit better. And of course, my physique improved as well. I got a little bit leaner, got a little bit bigger. And I'm not going to tell you the conventional advice. The conventional advice of just some random 1,000 calorie meal prep guys. And, you know, it's just like pasta and takes ages to make and it's really inconvenient. Or things like pasta. I'm not going to tell you to eat pasta, and I'm especially not going to tell you to eat chicken and broccoli. Rice, chicken and broccoli, just a pointless meal. What I am going to tell you to eat is more animal products. That is simply it. More animal products, less of everything else. You can just get rid of everything else if you want to, or just reduce everything else. You should be animal based from now on. If you actually want to see some good results, go animal based. The majority of your diet should be animal foods. So what does that include? It includes meat, it includes yogurt, it includes eggs, it includes milk, blah de blah, the list goes on. Why? Because lots of people say that meat is bad for you. Well, first of all, we've been eating it for hundreds of thousands of years. But second, everything that is not an animal product is non-bioavailable. Bioavailability means that you can absorb it. So say, for example, you have 8 grams of protein in this protein bagel, and that's just rubbish anyway. Like 8 grams is not very good. You need like 150 plus grams a day, right? 8 grams of protein, you can probably only absorb about 1.5, maybe 2 grams of that. That's all you can use out of this seed bagel. Like, we're not supposed to be eating this. This is just not for humans, right? And then nuts, same thing. They have a terrible protein quality. So they are not complete proteins. A complete protein has all the amino acids that you need, so you can use it. But nuts don't have that. Especially things like peanuts, they have like a 0.5. So 0.5 of the protein that you're eating isn't getting absorbed. Meaning that you could eat, you know, like 20 grams of protein, you're only getting 10. So you don't know exactly what you're getting. You might be tracking it in an app. In fact, I've got an app, shameless plug right here. It's a full nutrition app that actually talks about animal foods, muscle growth and recovery. We optimize for this type of diet, not grains and processed foods and nuts and seeds. So that is the first link in the description, Elite Labs. And so these have a ton of calories, but they have bad fats, which is the unsaturated fats. You've been told it wrong. It's the saturated fats that we need. That's the precursor to, that's what you get cholesterol from, and you need cholesterol for your hormones. All hormones come from cholesterol. You cannot produce things like testosterone without cholesterol. So people with low cholesterol tend to have lower testosterone, and testosterone is needed for building muscle, etc., etc. So you need higher cholesterol. You need to optimize for high cholesterol foods. You need to get rid of these lower cholesterol foods. They're normally on like the fat-free yogurt and everything. You need the fat. That's where all the nutrition is. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. So nuts are essentially for birds and stuff. We can eat nuts, we can, but they're just not very good for us. They're not as good as they say they are. They've got a ton of bad fats. They've got a ton of calories. I mean, calories don't apply to humans anyway. That's how you process heat when heating up water by 1 degree Celsius. That's what a calorie is. That doesn't apply to us. We process the chemicals within inside the food. So we're trying to process this, and all we're getting is things like phytic acid, which is an anti-nutrient which blocks the absorption of like the proteins and the nutrients within inside the nuts. So what can we eat instead? Well, we can eat some 20% fat beef mince, highest fat beef mince that you can find. 350 grams, which is the serving which I have pretty much every day. It's like 2/3, like 3/4 of a packet of beef mince. This is like a half a kilo, so it's like, you know, the majority of it. This has 1,277 calories. So if you're trying to bulk, it is insane. It's got 80 grams of protein. This has 8 grams. I'm pretty sure this is about the same price as these. Maybe it's a little bit more actually, but it's similar price, right? And you're getting 10 times the protein, and it's bioavailable, so you can use all of it. Absolutely all of it. It's all yours. 0 grams of carbs, so you won't be spiking your blood sugar and messing up your insulin and your hunger signaling, so you'll actually know when you're full when eating this. And it's got 108 grams of fat. Fat does not make you fat, and overconsumption of food makes you fat. So fat is good for you. You have the fat-soluble vitamins. For example, vitamin A, D, E, K2, B12, carnosine, taurine, creatine, loads of other things. You've got B3, B6, B2. You've got all the correct forms of the nutrients, so you can get vitamin K1 in things like kale, I think it is, kale or spinach, one of the two, leafy greens, but you can't use that. You need vitamin K2 rather than K1, which is in vegetables. Vitamin K2 is in here. These are essential nutrients that you need, and you can get them all inside meat. Whereas things like vegetables, you can't absorb them in the same way, same as like nuts, as I was talking about. They are non-bioavailable. For example, carrots, they have something called beta carotene. That's why they're called carrots in the first place. And that is why people say it's good for your eyes, because it converts into vitamin A, and you need vitamin A for your eyes. However, here's the catch. Vitamin A, beta carotene, half the population, like literally over half of the population, cannot convert beta carotene into vitamin A at all. Like, at all. And the people who can, which is, you might not be able to, one of us won't be able to, right? And one of us who can, say for example it's me, I can't convert it very highly, so I can only convert like 3% of it or something, very low conversion rate. Whereas in here, you just get vitamin A, just like that, no need for converting. Actually no, you do need to convert it, but you get all of it, you can convert everything that you need to. So plants are just no-go, you just don't need them, they're not essential and they taste bad for a reason. If you give a baby broccoli, it'll spit it out. If you give a baby, I mean, in fact, if you give anyone a sprout, they're just gonna spit it out, right? They're just lying to themselves saying it tastes good. You need to cook the hell out of vegetables, you need to add like seasoning, you need to add so much for it to taste good, whereas meat just tastes good anyway. You give a baby a piece of steak or some milk, it'll eat it, drink it right up. There's a reason for that. And so these are some meals that I recommend. I used to eat this, it was just beef burgers with that beef mince, so you just like cook it like a burger. I've done some videos on my channel about that, I'll do some in the future. And eggs, I'll teach you how to cook eggs as well. Eggs are amazing, obviously they've got all the same things as meat. It is a complete animal, it's literally an entire animal in one little shell. And the shell's got an absolute ridiculous amount of calcium in it as well. So if you want to eat the shell and be weird like that, then you can eat an egg whole. Or you can create like some sort of concoction. So lots of people used to eat, well, I used to eat a ton of protein powder, and it's got a ton of chemicals in. If you just like get any protein powder, it's got like a ton of chemicals that you don't need and loads of flavorings and stuff. So I got some natural protein powder that was literally just whey protein. That was it, like single ingredient. And I blended that with a banana and some milk, and that's a decent combination. That's got like bioavailable sources of protein. It has got calories that you need, it's got the nutrition that you need. It's good because of the milk. You won't get nutrition from whey protein, you'll only get the protein from protein. But if you're going to get protein, make sure you get good protein, high quality protein. The one I got was from Bulk, and yeah, I'm not sponsored, but you can go there and get the one I got. It's just unflavored protein, no ingredients but protein. That is it. So that is how you optimize for nutrition as someone in high school, and it builds you a very good physique. I'm very happy with the progress I made. I was in the US for a few months, for 3 months, and I started basically going on the Red 40 diet. Like I just didn't eat anything healthy because it just wasn't available. Every time we got a day off, I'd go out and I'd look for milk. I'd look for whole milk because they only have like 0 fat milk there. It's like, why? They gave us donuts for breakfast. Why are you sacrificing the fat? That's the only place where there's some nutrition. Oh, it was so annoying. But I came back and I just looked very like flabby. I just didn't look dense, you know what I mean? Like that dense muscle that just feels really good. And within a couple of weeks, boom, it was back because I was just eating properly again. And sometimes I'd go off, sometimes I'd eat like less animal foods and more, you know, like I just dip into the odd like potatoes here and there, and then I dip into some like grains and have a little bit of cereal every now and then. And literally within a few days, I kid you not, I could just see myself getting a little bit flabby. But then as soon as I switch straight back to animal products, eat more steak, eat more mince, that kind of thing, eggs, boom, you just look lean, dense, and big at the same time. It's just like an insane combination. It's fantastic. So that is the exact diet that I would eat if I were in your position, just starting out again and I didn't know what the hell to eat because there's so much conflicting advice. That is anecdotally what has worked for me, and scientifically what has worked for humans for hundreds of thousands of years as Homo sapiens and millions of years as sapiens in general. So one last time, I'm currently building this app. It is in alpha. It's the first link in the description, as I said, which actually focuses on proper nutrition for humans that we're supposed to be eating. It'll get you the best results you have ever seen in your life. You'll just feel feel amazing as well. You won't get brain fog. So when you're, you know, working or you're doing whatever as a student, I don't know, I've not been to school for a while, then you will have the perfect brain capacity to actually complete the task, rather than, you know, when someone asks you something, you go, what, sorry, you know, you have that sort of brain fog when you're like, and you just can't think properly. You don't get that on this diet. This is what we're supposed to be eating. Carbs and everything is messing up all of our hunger signal, it's messing up all of our hormones, it's messing up our brain. So, like things like fluoride, for example, is a neurotoxin. Fluoride is in your toothpaste, it is in your water as well, and that's a neurotoxin that affects the IQ of people, of humans, of me, of you, and we don't want that. So we need to optimize for what we've been eating for millions of years, as I said, and this will do it. And also, there's so many different apps for nutrition these days that I just wanted to have them all in one, because I've got like so many apps. This is my homepage. Hang on, this is my homepage. Don't question it. But here are all my apps right here. And there's so many, there's like 5 different ones, so I just combine them all into one. So you've got like the training, if you go in the gym, nutrition, and then you've got habits right here. You can track your weight, you can do like selfies to track your progress, you can do meditation, there's community in here, there's courses as well. I'm updating the courses, adding loads more, some nutrition ones, everything. It's fantastic. It's literally the app what I wanted to create, so I created it. First link in the description. I will see you over there. Good night.